All right, so you were asking me about how to properly burn resins in charcoal. So there's a few methods in which you can do it. You can use a hot plate, you can use it with charcoal itself, etc. Now, what do you put your charcoal on top of? You could put it in something with tin or technically even stone, but you, depending on what vessel you use, you either A, want to buffer the heat source by putting sand underneath it, or salt, or prior used ash. Now, if you're using the one you were asking me about was this type. This is a censer burner with a grate. Now, most grates, people get them like this, but what you want to do is actually flip it, because this will make it a little bit more earthquake safe. See, if I shake it, shake it, shake it, it's not really moving, versus if I were to have it like this, looks pretty, but shake, 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 knows how it's falling off, that's a fire hazard. So make sure you have it like this and have it on a wooden base. Now, if you want to move your charcoal around, let's say to cleanse a home or a person, I recommend putting it into a shallow mortar. I use mine specifically for that reason. So this way, by me holding it, this whole vessel will get extremely hot. But by having like this will only get mildly warm. So I'm able to move it around where need be. Now, how to light it. The charcoal that we have here is Swift Light. So all you really need is a heat source, some tongs, and then the vessel to put it on. So for this, we get our candle. You can do this with a lighter, perfectly fine. Hold it for a few seconds. Notice how it's so intense it turned it out. Now notice, you can probably even hear it, but you see the red embers growing along the edges. That is it activating the heat. And notice how I'm keeping it kind of away from myself. Now, when that happens, I just put it right there, let it do its thing. And I'm not going to add any of my resins or herbs until the thing has become a bit of an ashy white color. Once that is done, it's pretty much good to go. Now, for the sake of time, I'm gonna go ahead and just have us pause it for a moment, and then we'll come back when it's a little ashy. Almost exactly the amount of ashiness that we want it to be at, just a little bit more. By the time I'm done talking, it should be just fine. So we got some Archangel's resin, and we have some Golden Copal resin. 7 Archangel is a blend of other resins, mostly with frankincense. And Golden Copal, both of these actually are tree sap that has been crystallized, and it's just amazing smells. And they do have their own properties. You can feel free to take a little screenshot of that if you wish. Okay. So when it comes to working with resins, you want to obviously get that smoke effect. But the thing is, how much do you need in order to get the proper amount of smoke? The answer may surprise you. You may think, oh, this is a perfect amount. Nope, too much. Okay, maybe this amount. Nope, still too much. Okay, what if we just do a couple of pieces of this? Okay, but put one back. So you really don't need a lot to start with if you're doing in a small space. If you're doing a big space, yeah, put some more on if you wish. But if you're doing a small apartment, just really start with this size until you get the groove of what this works with, especially if it's dust. The smaller it is, the easier it burns. Now, this is a pretty good ashiness, so you see how that's nice, good crust of white ash around it. So we're just gonna put that right there. We're gonna give it a few seconds, and in a few moments you will see it starting to bubble. You might even see it starting to bubble right now. And already it's starting to release smoke. Now, this is perfect for someone who is in a small apartment, maybe has smoke detectors, etc. But look, from that little piece, look at all that smoke. A little goes a long way. And it smells amazing. And if you want to just be a little special, you can always just grind a little bit of dust on top of it. This is Golden Copal. And that literally is enough for at least 15 minutes. Now this whole charcoal will continue burning for about an hour, hour and a half. If you got a good piece, maybe 2 hours. As it continues going along, it will continue to become more and more ash. When that happens, just take your tongs, maybe give it a little shake. Obviously right now is not a good time because we just started doing it. But as you do it, you'll be exposing the red coal and dropping the ash down to the bottom. This way you can collect your ash and use it in other rituals. And there you go.